Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on when you are joining me. My name is Barbara Foli-Lassey, and I'm your Teach Pitch digital skills instructor. And today I'm going to teach you how to create an online course with Mindstone. The first thing you will need to do is access the Mindstone course creation platform. And you can do that by putting in the web link app.mindstone.com/creator. And what I will do is share that with you, I believe, through our email marketing. So when you log into your Mindstone area for the course build, you will see that it says My Courses on the left-hand side. So I have one course that's currently in progress and it's ready to be published. And this is what your homepage, if you want to call it that, will look like. So what we are going to do step by step is create a new one. So have a go and we click Create Course on the right-hand side. Lovely. So we are given a box where we're going to input information. So just think about your learner, anyone who comes across your course, what key information do they need to see? So of course, number one, they need to know the name of the course itself. So I'm going to quickly input course name. So my course fits in with my specialism, which is sociology. So I'm going to call my super curriculum learning sociology. So my course is targeted towards my sociologists. So these are my sixth formers. They sit between the ages of 16 to about 19 years of age. And I want them to dig deeper into the world of sociology, to go beyond the textbook and think about ways in which they can incorporate contemporary issues and link that into the topics that we've been studying and apply that in their essays, in exam questions, and of course use this as evidence going forward for their university applications. So, quick description therefore about this course. So, explore the world of sociology beyond your textbooks. Something simple and snappy. So here you can see what will people learn in your course. You need to give a bit more detail about what the expectations are. What are people going to leave with having completed the course itself? So we do have a handful of characters. I'm going to start with widened knowledge and understanding of sociology and its relevance to contemporary society. It would have been much easier if I had this typed out, but the reality is copying and pasting back and forth is not always my forte, so you do have to bear with me. To critically evaluate and analyze a range of documents. And then the last one is going to be explore links between different areas of So I have three objectives essentially. So all my learners will have an opportunity to broaden their knowledge and understanding of sociology. So they're going beyond the textbook, as I've said in my description, but thinking about contemporary issues. within society and how those link to what we've been studying. As well as that, they're going to evaluate, analyze a range of documents. So that would be PDFs, videos, podcasts, and so forth. And then just start to think more about how they can draw links between different areas of the course of sociology and evidence wider reading. That is the key objective for me. Most of my learners will be moving on into higher education, so going off to university, and as part of their interviews or as part of their applications for university, they will need to be able to show evidence that they've been reading broadly outside of lesson time, outside of in-class learning. And I think Mindstone is a great platform for them to be able to visually show that, as well as just keep documented records of what they've been doing over the last year. So some info about you. There's not that many characters, so it has to be kind of short, quite punchy. So of course, I'm an educator. So I'm going to start off with that. A passionate educator. I'm not just an educator. I consider myself to be independent. Ooh, hold on. So passionate educator, independent event curator, and a UX design enthusiast. So these just kind of reflect my current job, career, as well as passions and interests that I have outside of what I do in the classroom. So once you have all of that information, and you can always come back and edit it, which is quite great, you just go ahead and create course. Okay, so we have kind of like the skeleton of our course. So at the top, if you have a look at our builder, we have an option here to upload a cover image, which we will do. You can see here the title and description of my course. Have an opportunity to edit again if I'm not quite happy with my phrasing, or I want to include or remove something, I can do so quite easily. On the left-hand side, so here is my profile. Okay, so I can upload a picture if I want to. As of now, I don't think I will do. I might do so later. And then you can see all your resources. You can see most of them here in this queue. If I scroll down, there are a range of other resources as well. So these are all the resources that we've already uploaded to Mindstone in our workspace, or perhaps it's in your shared workspaces if you have collaborated with others. So it's quite nice that we can literally just drag and drop our existing resources that we've taken the time to upload previously. We also have these two buttons here. So you've got preview, so you can preview your course. We haven't done much, so I will show you that once we fill in a bit more information. And then we also have the option to publish. So that's once we are completed with uploading our resources, we've previewed it, we're happy with the structure, we're happy with all our content, then we can go ahead and publish it so that it's in public domain. Other people, especially our intended learners, can access it. But we're not quite there yet. Okay, so what I will start off doing is uploading a cover image. I think I'll go there first. So it's quite intuitive. It's very similar to other platforms whereby you can upload an image for personalization. I have one already at hand, so I'm just going to quickly go to recent. And I just want my image to reflect my course. My course is sociology, super curriculum learning, so the image just needs to fit that theme. So I have one here. I'm going to click open. So that image is one that you perhaps already have on your drive, whether that's Google Drive or you have it in your desktop area perhaps, or your library, and then you can just easily access it. So you can see the image. If I wanted to, I could edit it and then I could replace it with a different image. So you're not stuck to just uploading one image and being fixed with that. You can always change it if you want to do so. And now I'm going to discuss how you go about framing or structuring your course. So you can see here, this is where we will start to build the course itself and the different sections within it. So you need to think about the flow. What is it that you want your learners to learn, and how do you want them to go about learning the content that you've provided? So what journey are you taking them on? You kind of need to think about your introduction, your middle, and then the end. So I've already considered quite loosely how I want my course to look and how I want the user flow or the learner flow to be experienced. So what I will do is I'll start with add new section. And here, I think what I will do is have an introduction. So this is an introduction to the course. I'm going to include information on what wider reading is, how students can go about evidencing wider reading, evidencing resources and documents that they've come across that connect, to what we've been studying. So give it a title and then create section. Okay, and then I have my introduction. So here it says drag resources here or add new resources. So we can literally just drag and drop from our current resources that we've previously uploaded, or we can add new resources. So perhaps we want to add a new web link. We want to add a new document from our drive or our library, and so forth. We can do that here. But I'm going to just continue with the different sections. That way I have it in mind what my course is going to look like. So I've got my introduction. For me, the second part will really be around sociological theories. So students will learn or relearn what the main sociological theories are, the main ways of viewing and explaining the social world. That's quite important for us going forward when we then are selective with the types of content we will apply to evidence that wider reading. So just give it a title and then create section. Okay, so you can see that I have my second section. And what I could do, for example, I could rearrange the section. So perhaps, it wouldn't make sense in my case, but if I wanted, I think I accidentally deleted it. But if I wanted the second section to actually be first, then I can rearrange that. You don't have to delete each content and then create it again. So I'm just going to have a go at doing that again. So that was sociological theories. Create section. Lovely. Add a new section for me is going to follow the structure of the program of teaching. So that will be Unit 1. Give it a proper title, Sociology of Education. I'm using a new keypad where things are not where they're actually supposed to be. So it's a little bit confusing. Right, my next section will be Unit 2, Sociology of Families, and so on and so on. So I'm just quickly add these. You can add as many sections as you want. Just depends on the nature of your course and the flow that you want your learners to experience. So I'm on Unit 3 now. I've got just 2 more to go. And then the last one for me is going to be applying sociological material. So this is more about those exam skills, so those specific assessment objectives that students will have to demonstrate in their exams. And of course, your course the skeleton of your course is going to look very different considering the nature of the course itself. So I want mine to kind of mirror the key themes and the key skills that students have to show in their exams. But of course, it really does depend on what it is that you will be teaching your learners. Okay, so that is, the skeleton of it. So what I'll do is I'll just show you in preview what it does look like so far. We're not finished yet, but if I click preview up here, just wait for it to load. Okay, nice. So you can see this is the preview of my course. This is what it would look like on your learner's end. So we have our title here, Super Curriculum Learning Sociology. The author of the course, that's me. So because I am using my teacher account, it says Miss Lassey. A description about me. So you've got that subheading there. And then, of course, I can always go back and edit it. But here, when you look down, what is it that students are going to learn? So we've got my blurb that I put in. Now that I look at it, I'm not really happy with the bullets that I've used. I'm going to remove that so I can always edit, which I will do. And then in the middle, we've got our contents. So you can see that the different sections that we created are reflected here in our contents page. So likewise, if I've put something in the wrong order, I can always go back and rearrange it. I can delete something, I can add something. So whilst you're still in editing mode, of course, you have free reign to edit. What you'll notice here is we have, when we highlight over, we have the option to see further information. Now, because I haven't actually included any resources in my sections, there is no drop-down option. So it's here, but there's nothing visible. So what we will then do is actually add our resources within each section that we come across. And then just moving on to the right-hand side, we have my image. So this is the cover image that I wanted for my course, something that reflects what it is my learners will encounter. And then we have the description, brief description of the course, Exploring the World of Sociology Beyond Your Textbook. So we won't click preview this course just as yet because we haven't filled in or we haven't included the resources and the different documents within our sections. But this is what you can see so far. So this will be, like I said, the end of your learners, what they see when they come to access your course. So I'll just go back. You can always, if you've come off the page, just click edit course. But I still have the tab open, so I'm just going to go backwards. Okay, so I have my resources here on the left-hand side. And when you click in this course, I haven't actually uploaded anything yet. So this was blank, but these resources have just uploaded themselves. Okay, so what I'm going to do is literally just drag and drop, which is why it's important to spend quite a bit of time sorting through your resources. I'm sure as educators, you have tons of them, and there's pretty much everything that you can use, but you want to be selective. What's the most important information that needs to be in the course that's going to add value to your learners? And then, of course, think about the structure, the nature in which they will come across it as they go through that journey. So in my introduction, I can also search through my resources. I don't have to spend too much time scrolling through, especially if you've uploaded, 50, 60, 70, and so forth, different resources. So I'm going to just narrow it down. Can't quite see behind this image. Let me get this out of the way. Just seeing my head on the screen and it's getting in the way. There we go. Applying contemporary examples. This is the resource that I wanted. So I know that I want this to go into my introduction. Because it really does set the tone for what the course is going to be about, and secondly, why it's important for students to be aware of contemporary issues, so current affairs, and its relevance to sociology. So all I have to do is just click and drop in here. Okay, and then you will see that that document, so it's a PDF file, that is now under my introduction section. If I wanted to, I could, of course, remove the resource. I can edit the resource details. So I tend to be someone who, I would say, I constantly change the names of my files. I find that the structure, or perhaps the words, the phrasing that I've used, isn't always uniformed, and I'm always wanting to go back and change it. And that's what I really like about the option to edit the resource details, because you'll see here I've applied a number. I don't actually need that number. It makes sense when it's in my drive, doesn't make sense on my course. So I can have a go, I can remove that, make sure that is spelled correct. Yeah, applying contemporary examples. And I'm just going to add in sociology. I think that's a better title. And then I click save. It hasn't done anything to the file other than just change the name. So I think that's quite nice, because if you have a look at some of my files, hopefully you can see it here. Like I said, they're not always uniformed. I have capital letters in some, I have lowercase in others, I've got web links. And whilst I know what the content entails, just the name itself isn't always the best fit. So it's quite nice that you can have a go and edit that. So I've put down my first resource. So I'm just going to keep adding some other resources here. And I'm just going to type in one of my tag names, which is wider reading. So it's quite good that when you are uploading your resources initially to Mindstone, to utilize the tag options, because it just makes it easier, like I said, to sift and to sort through the different resources that you have. I saw it, where was it? Here we go. Suggestions for further reading. So this one isn't a PDF. Now, this one, because I do have annotations alongside this video, so this is a video link that I have uploaded from YouTube. The video link comes with the transcription. So it's quite nice that as students are watching the video, you have the transcription side by side, so they can clearly see the transcript and they can see the video at the same time. Now, because it does come with annotations, I have the option to upload it with or upload it without. So it really does depend on you whether those annotations are useful and beneficial to your learner, or perhaps it was more personal for your own needs. So I'm going to include with annotations. Okay, and then you will see that that file is now here. So I'm just going to do a few more. I'm looking for one more. My resource list, here we go. So drag and drop as before. I'm going to go without annotations. I don't need the annotations for this file. And I have firstly my three different resources within the introduction section. So remember I said that it's very easy for us to rearrange our resources. So you can see I've moved resource list from the bottom resource to the top. So I'm going to leave that there because the resource list tells students exactly what resources they will need for the remainder of this course. And then the A-star suggestions for further reading, that's stretching students who want to attain the highest grade. So it makes sense, again, thinking about that journey, for me to have it in this order. Okay, so I always have the option to go back and drag more resources. I might have left something off, for example, to add something new. But I'm going to move on to my second section. So my second section is about sociological theories, reminding my students who are the main theorists, what do they say about society, and how do they go about studying it. So again, I have a couple of resources in here, and I still cannot see behind this thing, but I can move it. I did not know that. So I'm going to move my face over there. And if I scroll back, where was I? I was on Sociological Theories. I think I've passed it. It was exam question. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so there is a booklet. I want it with annotations. So this is a booklet that I have uploaded that has a range of different sociological theory questions for students. As I said previously, I have a bad habit of writing titles that aren't always uniform. So I am going to remove the caps. A-level unit, should be unit 1 to 4 booklet, all exam questions. Right, so this document, just to add, if you are like me, you probably have a range of different resources that are in doc file or PowerPoint file, etc. You can use those on Mindstone. You just convert them to PDF. So that's what I've done here, which is why I have this different extension name. So I'm gonna save that. Yes, lovely, that has changed now. All right, and what I can do is I can always preview my resource as well, just to make sure, oh, is this exactly what I wanted to upload? So you can see that is processing now. Just give it a moment. Let's see, did that upload? Right, I'm gonna save and close this and try it again. I do think my internet is playing up ever so slightly, so it's just taking extremely long to load. I'll probably show you a smaller document, one that isn't going to create such a delay. Okay, it's taken me back to the preview. So what we can see now, if we go back to our contents, we should be able to see the different resources that I've uploaded within each section. Yeah, so here's my introduction. Then you'll notice that these are the different files that I uploaded. So I've got that PDF that gives students an overview of what is meant by a contemporary issue, what are current affairs, how do you go about sourcing your current affairs. They give examples of the current affair issues that are important to sociology and relevant to their actual specification. I've got a resource list here, so you can see this file, and then this icon indicates that that's a video. So you can see that I have my 3 resources in my intro. Click on Sociological Theories. I've only uploaded the one thus far, so I have my 1 document with the booklet I was trying to open. Then again, because I haven't uploaded anything as of yet in Unit 1 section, Unit 2, Unit 3, Unit 4, or the last one, that's why when I click the drop down, nothing else is happening. Okay, so I'll go back to the edit. I'm just going to quickly scroll to the top because I remember I said, okay, Barbara, you need to move over here. I remember I said I wanted to change the bullets that was in my blurb. Okay, so I'm going to remove these. Just so it reads better and it looks better. Perfect. And save. Great. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue uploading my resources. So I was in second section, which is Sociological Theories. I will move Barbara back again to the corner. I hope you can see that I'm moving I'm moving the mirror image of myself from one side of the screen to the other, so it doesn't look like I'm I'm talking about something completely random, but it's just in the way when it comes to being able to see the resource list on the left-hand side. So sociological theories, then I'm going to include, I have a data document just for sake of search. I'm going to type it in here. I saw it. There's one on crime. Yeah, here we go. Environmental crime. I'm going to drag that in here with annotations. I have added some notes with some questions to get students thinking. Sociological theory belongs in here with annotations again. There is another data document. Should be on identity. Here we go. And I'm going to drag that in here again with my annotations. All right, lovely. So I still have my 4 sections as well as my final section, which is on applying contemporary issues and examination skills. So I'm going to have a go at doing this. Let's see if I can fast forward this. Okay, I'm back. So what you should now see is a much more polished area within my sections and the resources that have been uploaded. So I just went through to change the names. So as I said, hover over a particular resource, click edit, and I just removed the extensions, the .pdf, .docx, or various forms, pod, and so forth, because I just wanted to have a more polished look. Because these are the titles of my different resources, and therefore I think having those extension labels just doesn't allow for good visual sight. So yeah, I just removed those. I've uploaded the relevant content within the relevant sections, so you can see these are the resources all the way down to my final section. So what we would do, just move her again. What we'll do is we'll go back to preview, and we should see a much more detailed version compared to the first time we did a preview. So just wait for this page to load. Lovely. Okay, so again, layout's very, very similar, but I've gotten rid of those bullets so that the text just looks better, it reads better. We have the different drop-down menu, so I didn't change the content titles or the individual titles within the contents, but I have, of course, now changed the resources. So I take you through Unit 1, have a range of videos, PDFs, I have a podcast in here as well. We've got it, Unit 3, Unit 4, and Unit 5. I believe I put the podcast. Let's see. Ooh. Accidentally clicked on something. My keyboard is quite sensitive. Let's just quickly go back. Yeah, I believe I put the podcast in. Yeah, that's it here. So the icon is the same as the others. But yeah, we have a range of different documents just to meet a range of different learner needs, make it more visually appealing, more engaging, more interesting. And so what we're going to do now is actually preview the course. So click preview. Might just take a moment to upload. Okay, and as you can see, if you have a look at the breadcrumb at the top, supercurricular learning, sociology, the first section is the introduction. So it should upload with the first resource. Okay, I think I am back to recording. Yes, great. So as you can see, as I've gone into preview, we are in the introduction, and this is my first file. So it clearly has the title of that resource. Here are some of the tags that I've applied earlier from my Mindstone workspace, and then you have the first file here. So the first file really is just more of an introduction, what it means to apply contemporary issues for the learners in their exams or their essays. What is a contemporary issue? How do you go about discovering or perhaps collating information? So where do you access these materials? From news platforms, documentaries, podcasts, whatever it might be. So I have the first resource. Then what you can do is you can keep going through your resources so you can see what's to come next. So what was the next resource within your first section? You click on next resource. And because of, I think this is just poor connection, it will take a bit of a while. So you'll see we're still in the introduction and it's the next page, and you'll be able to keep flicking through your resources in the different sections. And I have 6 sections, so you'll be able to work through that page by page. What's quite nice is that it tells you roughly how long it's going to take to get through that resource, what's the average reading time, what's the video time, and so forth. Therefore, I guess your learners can plan how they journey through or how they work through your resources. So I can see this isn't going to load at the moment. So I'll just see if I can go back. So if I click save and close, that will just take me back to my course page. And that's acting up as well. Okay, I have it open here anyway. So when you go back to the course building page, so here we are. So we have all our resources in the right order. You will need to work your way through and preview it. And I think because I am using a video recording software, it's just delaying everything quite significantly. So once you've previewed and you're happy with the flow, you're happy with the different contents that you've applied, make sure as well if you've used highlighting tools, annotating tools, comment tools, just double check to make sure that they are still there if you've uploaded it with your annotations, because that will be a valuable resource for you. Perhaps if you've pointed your students or your learners to consider a particular question, you've wanted them to try out something or to access a different web page, divert their attention to new material and so forth. There are a range of ways that you can utilize those different functions. So just double check that they have been uploaded. You saw when I was uploading, sometimes I uploaded with annotations and sometimes it was without. So just make sure that you have uploaded it how you wanted. And then if I just scroll back to the top, when you were completely happy, so we go to preview as we did, and this should now work. Lovely. And then this is to preview each section as if you were the learner. If you are completely happy, then you can publish. So here was the publish button. Now, it's important that you only publish once you are ready to share your course publicly. And that's because, of course, once you've published it, makes it very challenging for you to then go back and edit any documents or any resources that you've uploaded. It will be challenging to move your resources from one section to another. So just make sure that you are actually happy with the course that you've built. And then, of course, you just click publish. So because I wasn't able to show you the journey throughout each individual platform, perhaps if I click publish, as you can see, it asks you, are you sure? You're no longer able to add, remove, reorder, and so forth. I think I'm ready. Confirm. And then it says that the course is published. Therefore, if this works, you will be able to see, here we go, my published course. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have found this very useful, and I wish you all the best in creating your online courses. Thank you. Bye-bye.